Welcome to my channel. We're trying to help kids fall in love with reading. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you the books that my fifth graders are reading on the 100th day of school. It might be the 99th or 101st. I'm not sure. Fifth grade teacher, that's not quite as important here, but we're right at about that 100 day mark. We'll start with this first table. First up, we just went to the library and one of my fifth graders checked out Dragon Girls. I'm like, tell me about that. I haven't read that. And she says, well, this is the fourth book in the series and I've read the first three. So now I'm on to book 4. Very exciting news there. I might want to read the first one. I don't know that series. Playbook, 52 rules to aim, shoot, and score in the game called life. We just recently read Kwame Alexander's most recent picture book, An American Story. Beautiful. This kid's read crossover. He's read booked. He's read the graphic novels. Big fan of Kwame, and he hadn't seen this one, and he found it in the library. Let's go. One of my fifth graders making their way through Restart. This kid just finished the second book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and he wanted a little bit of a break. Can you blame him? Holy smokes. And he's reading Restart, making his way through Gordon Corman's, one of his most popular books, if not the most popular Gordon Corman book, Warriors, graphic novels. I need to figure out how many books are in this series because it feels like the kids want all of them, but I'm not sure I have all of them. So I need to do some research. I'm going to make a mental note to do that. And then Wings of Fire. If you followed these videos, I do one every 2 or 3 weeks. This kid has been reading the traditional prose Wings of Fire, then the graphic novel, going back and forth, and now he's just recently finished the third Wings of Fire book, and now he's on to the third graphic. Alan Gratz's Grenade. This kid read and loved Alan's Ground Zero, now digging into Grenade. Beverly Cleary's Dear Mr. Henshaw. We watched a video with Paul, the illustrator of this beautiful book, and he read aloud a little bit of it. It was really awesome. And all of my kids actually got a copy of Dear Mr. Henshaw for some project I did for Scholastic, and many of them are loving it. Some are even going on and reading Stryker. The most interesting thing that we learned from Paul was that when it won the Newbery Medal, they actually shifted Lee here on the cover to make room for the medal. How interesting is that? I had no idea. I Survived the Titanic. Is there any more evergreen, popular topic in history than the Titanic? I actually think 9/11 could become that most kind of historical event that kids are curious about, but Titanic has been one for decades. Swim team, recently honored by one of the ALA committees. The kids were so excited, the ones that had read it in my class, and it made other kids in my class want to read it, which is always fun. If you haven't read this graphic novel by Johnny Christmas, read it, check it out. It's beautiful. It's an awesome story. I love when the new kid moves to a totally different area, tries to fit in. I never tire of reading those stories, probably because I never moved. I'm actually teaching in a classroom that I was a student in 30 years ago. So just getting to experience that for me is really fun. Swim team, check it out. Very excited to see one of my fifth graders reading Whispers. This girl's on fire as a reader. It all started when she read Anne Ursu's The Lost Girl. Then she got this book, this young adult book that was very intense about a school shooting. And now she's on to Whispers and really making some progress. That girl is on fire. It makes my heart so happy. The War That Saved My Life, maybe my favorite historical fiction book published the last decade. Probably. Yeah, I love this book so much. Great to see another kid. It's making its way around in my classroom. Who would win? We've been talking about nonfiction text structures, and when we were looking at some texts that use comparisons as the structure, we talked about these books. It's fun to see that one of my kids is reading it now. Who would win? Komodo Dragon, King Cobra. If you read these, do you sometimes? I always look at the end to see who wins first, and I never do that. But didn't see that coming. And then When Pigs Fly, this is a new book in our school library. Our librarian loves Rob's Wink book, and this comic is in that, and so she was so excited to tell the kids all about this graphic novel, and that there are 2 that kind of that are from Rob, right? And they're in Wink, so it's super cool, and she's very excited. And when you're excited about books, it gets kids excited about books. Kids are excited about books, everything is right in the world. Does this have a weird background? You have a Nathan Hale graphic novel, Clorox wipe, picture frames that should be taken care of, random milk crate. Sorry. This table, Coyote Sunrise. I'm so excited to see a kid reading this. I love this book so much. Dan Gemeinhart is an absolutely storytelling genius. The Real Deal by Lindsay Stoddard. Lindsay's visiting our school next week. The We recently finished reading this book aloud. Great to see a kid diving in as well to maybe read it again. If you haven't read this book, check it out. It's awesome. Officer Clawsome, Lobster Cop. Just got this graphic novel. I knew the perfect reader. I knew exactly the kid that I wanted to give this to, and I'm dying to know what he thinks of that. Parachute Kids, this is going to be one of the best and most talked about, I think, graphic novels of 2023. It's absolutely awesome, about a girl and her siblings who move across the globe to California, and then their parents, like for like visa issues, have to go back, and they like are left without their parents. It's wild. It's so interesting. I loved it. Couldn't stop turning pages. And guts, because what's an elementary classroom without someone reading Raina Telgemeier? There's probably not many elementary classrooms, especially 5th grade, where someone's not reading Raina Telgemeier. So guts. Parachute Kids. 2 awesome graphics from Scholastic graphic novels. Final table here. Hummingbird, Natalie Lloyd was just honored by the Snyder Committee. I love this book. See, when you watch these award shows with your kids and you talk about books that win awards, and they like have seen the books before, maybe not read them, it just like instantly adds it to their to-read list, moves it up to the top a little bit more. And it was so heartwarming for me to just think about this book is going to be read by so many more kids because it won the award, and the kids are going to love it. So sometimes it's just getting the book into the hands of the kids that is half the battle. Victory Stand, 103 stickers, maybe put them 1, 2, 3, I'm not sure. Very exciting. This is more of a young adult graphic novel, but I definitely think it's most middle school, like even a 5th grade readers would be cool with the content and be able to handle that beautiful story of one of the most important and iconic moments in American sports history. Song for a Whale. If you haven't read this book, a girl is deaf, and she learns about a whale that also can't hear like the other whales, and she goes on this wild journey with her grandmother. Oh, it's so good. Song for a Whale. And Pokemon, gotta learn. Gotta catch them all, friends. Gotta catch them all. So we end with this nonfiction book about Pokemon from the Brands We Know series. Look at all those great books. Kids love these. Can't get enough. So those are the books that my 5th graders are reading. I hope you found something to add to your to-read list for your kids that you serve, or just because you want to read something awesome. Thanks again for tuning in. My name is Colby Sharp. I hope you have an awesome-tastic day.